How's it going, guys, and welcome back to BL3's Forgotten, the series where I take a look at underused and not often talked about pieces of gear to determine whether or not they deserve to be remembered within the modern meta of the game or should be left behind and forgotten. Today we are taking a look at the Kaos. If you'd like to farm the Kaos for yourself, you're going to want to fast travel over to the Amber Mire over on Eden 6, taking the Rogue's Hollow fast travel station, as conveniently this is where we will be resetting from. From there, run through the hideout and jump out the window, where you will land next to this cave where the Billies will spawn. You only have to take out Billy with a Y and you can get yourself the Kaos. The Kaos is a legendary Dahl assault rifle, only able to roll an incendiary, shock, corrosive, and cryo, with the special effect being that on kill, the enemy killed by the Kaos will explode. The Kaos has received a single buff, being a 160% weapon damage increase and an increase to the explosion radius on kill. I've loved the Kaos since even before it got that massive buff. It's always been one of my favorite ARs since launch, and I used to run it all the time pretty much across all the characters. And that really only became more true when it received that buff, going from the weaker side of pretty good to absolutely fucking insane. This thing can easily function into all tiers of content in the endgame, and is honestly just quite the fucking powerhouse. And I did still use the Kaos myself for quite some time after this buff, but as time went on, I think I sort of wore myself out on the Kaos, and eventually I found myself putting it down in favor of a lot of other weapons. But with that being said, we are so fucking back, baby. Holy shit, I love this thing. I don't know why I ever stopped using it. Kaos #1. Like I said, it's a great fucking weapon, but beyond that, it does honestly just feel really damn good to use. It does unfortunately suffer from the same problem as a lot of other on-kill effect weapons, where the effect is only triggered by killing damage from the actual weapon itself. This means if the damage from a bonus element or some other source of damage that isn't the actual weapon itself kills the enemy, the explosion won't trigger. This isn't a massive issue and by no means makes the gun unusable. However, it can make the gun's effect inconsistent if you don't account for it with your build. But again, this isn't that big of an issue because even with builds that have a lot of other damage sources and that aren't triggering that explosion as often as others, this gun is still really fucking good because it's just a strong weapon on its own. That explosion's kinda just the extra cherry on top. Not to say it doesn't do a fuck ton of damage, but it's not necessary. But with how much I'm talking up this weapon, why is it that it's unused? Well, it did actually used to be very popular, and I'm sure a lot of you watching this video that have played for a while remember running the Kaos as much as I did. I mean, for some time, it was pretty much regarded as one of the best guns for MOs. And I think it's just the simple fact that as time went on, we got a lot more assault rifles that had some sort of splash damage built into them, which kind of pushed the Kaos off to the side as its niche wasn't as niche, but it was also just kind of more lame in comparison to a lot of the others. We have the Breath of the Dying, which is sort of similar but way stronger, the Soul Render, which fires fucking stalls that deal a shit ton of explosive damage, the Rebound fires exploding buzzsaws, Clairvoyance can ricochet stickies as well as either be Masher or Gatling, the OPQ is just a strong-ass assault rifle that also deals multiple elements, splash damage, and can summon a drone, and really I could go on and on here. The Kaos doesn't carve out its own niche while also being a little uninteresting when compared to a lot of the guns that came after it. Not even necessarily in strength, but just in how enjoyable they are to use. That being said, I also often preach the importance of having more grounded weapons in Borderlands. Not every weapon needs to be insanely goofy or gimmicky, as that's how we end up with the weapon choice of Wonderlands. Having that juxtaposition of something like the King's Toll to the Moonfire is important to keep the balance between your weapon choices. Want to use some crazy gun that does a bajillion things? Go for it. But are you now getting a little worn out of that and want something a little more traditional? Well, swap on over to something like the Kaos. But if you want this thing to feel like it has a purpose even more, use it on Zane, because holy shit, this thing feels so fucking good on him. Like, it's amazing on all the Vault Hunters, but Zane just pumps so much into this that makes it feel like such a satisfying AR to use. He's able to push those just generally good across the board stats of the Kaos to their absolute limits. Pumping in fire rate, crit damage, making it shoot fucking laser beams of lead with mana focus, it all just makes the Kaos feel like how I wanted the Barrage to feel. But it also gets that extra explosion on the end. Overall though, the Kaos is just a case of a weapon that used to be incredibly unique, but as time went on, the niche it once filled eventually was filled with more and more weapon choice. This isn't necessarily a bad thing, as I do think the Kaos still has its place within those weapons. It just led to a pretty big downturn in popularity. But do I think it's deserved? No, not at all. And honestly, after recording this video, it's kind of reinvigorated my love for this gun. If you're someone who used to love this gun as much as I did and kind of fell off, I highly recommend picking one up and giving it a go again, because I promise it is just as fun as you remember it being. But that's gonna about do it for this one. I hope you guys guys enjoyed. If you did, definitely consider leaving a like, comment, subscribe, all that. I'll be live right after this video goes up, right here on YouTube, but also over on my Twitch channel, where there will be a link to down in the description below. And just under that is a link to my Discord server where you can come and join and hang out. But with that all being said, I hope to see you guys in the next one.